Always you. Prologue. Akshay and Riya were born on the same day, in the same hospital, just a few hours apart. Their parents had laughed about the coincidence, saying it must be fate, and from that moment on, their lives were intertwined. They grew up next door to each other, sharing everything: birthdays, scraped knees, whispered secrets under starry skies. He was her first best friend, her partner in every childhood adventure. But life had a cruel way of changing everything. And it all began with her mother's illness. Chapter 1. The beginning of the end. Riya was 14 when she learned the truth. Her mother had always been delicate, moving through life with soft touches and warm smiles. But in the last few months, something had changed. She was always tired, her body weaker, her smiles forced. Riya had begged her mother to go to the doctor. She had clutched her mother's hand, pleading with her father to do something. By the time they found out, it was too late. Bone cancer. Stage 4. It had been there for years, silent and cruel, eating away at her from the inside. The first time Riya heard the diagnosis, she felt the world tilt. She had always believed her mother was invincible. She had never once considered a life without her. Now, that future was staring her in the face. Chapter 2. Holding on to hope. The hospital room smelled of antiseptic and sadness. Her mother was lying on the bed, her once vibrant face now pale, her body frail. The machines beeped softly, a cruel reminder of the little time they had left. Riya sat by her mother's side, clutching her hand. "Mom, you'll get better, right?" Her voice was small, trembling. "The doctors will find something. A treatment. A cure." Her mother smiled gently, lifting a weak hand to brush Riya's hair. "My love, sometimes things don't work out the way we want them to." "No," Riya whispered, shaking her head. "No, we can fight this. We can." "Shish," her mother hushed her, pressing a soft kiss to Riya's forehead. "I don't want you to be sad. I want you to be strong." Tears spilled down Riya's cheeks. "I don't know how to live without you." Her mother squeezed her hand, her eyes filled with a depth of love Riya had never seen before. "You will. And you'll make me so proud." "I don't want to be strong," she choked out. "I just want you." Her mother smiled, brushing away her tears. "Then listen to me, sweetheart. Live, love, be kind, and never let fear stop you from chasing your dreams." Riya sobbed, burying her face in her mother's fragile hands. "I promise." And she meant it. But nothing could prepare her for the day her mother took her last breath. Chapter 3. The Aftermath. Her father drowned himself in work, leaving Riya alone in a house filled with ghosts of memories. But Akshay was there. He was the only thing keeping her afloat. When the nightmares came, he climbed through her window and held her until she stopped shaking. When she couldn't eat, he brought her food and made dumb jokes until she laughed. And one night, as they lay on his rooftop staring at the stars, she made a promise. "I'll become a doctor, an orthopedic surgeon." He turned to her, his usual mischievous smirk gone. "Why? So no one else has to go through this." He didn't hesitate. "Then do it. And I'll be right here. Always." She believed him. She had no idea he would break that promise. Chapter 4. The Distance Between Us. On their 15th birthday, Riya waited. Her father was away, as always, and the house was too quiet. But she wasn't worried. Akshay would come. He always did. But he never showed up. She texted, called, nothing. And the next day, she found him, surrounded by his teammates, his arm draped lazily over Daisy's shoulder. Laughing. Like nothing had changed. Like she didn't exist. She walked up to him, her heart hammering. "Akshay." He barely glanced at her. "What? You didn't come yesterday." He shrugged. "Had plans." 2 words. That was all. No explanation. No apology. And just like that, her world crumbled. Chapter 5. The Confession That Shattered Her. Riya told herself it was a mistake. A misunderstanding. So she waited. But weeks turned into months, and he never came back. Still, she held on. Until one day, she decided to take the first step. She found him at the basketball court, surrounded by the usual crowd. Her heart pounded as she walked up to him. Akshay. He turned, raising an eyebrow. Yeah, I like you, she blurted out. I've liked you for as long as I can remember. Silence. Then he laughed. A cold, sharp laugh that cut through her like a knife. You, he smirked. You actually thought I'd like you back. The girls around him giggled. Rhea felt something inside her break. She wanted to ask why. Why had he changed? Why did he hate her? But she had no words. So she turned and walked away. And this time, she didn't look back. Chapter 6. Moving on. Adam was different. He didn't look at her like she was invisible. He was kind, patient. So when he asked her to give him a chance, she did. And when she got into NYU, she left. Left the city, left the pain, left Akshay. Chapter 7. Regret. Akshay watched her go, and for the first time in years, he felt hollow. He had spent so long pushing her away, convinced it was the right thing to do. But now, he realized the truth. He had lost her, and it was his fault. Chapter 8. The truth that came too late. 2 years later, he found her. I pushed you away because our parents were having an affair. Rhea froze. What? I found out when we were 15. I didn't know how to tell you. I hated my father. I hated myself. And I thought, if you knew, you'd hate me too. Tears filled her eyes. You should have told me. I know. His voice broke. And I lost you because of it. She had spent years hating him. But now, she saw the broken boy behind the mask. Still, she didn't know if she could forgive him. Chapter 9. A second chance. Then came the accident. A car crash. A hospital bed. When she got the call, she didn't think. She ran. And when he opened his eyes and saw her, he whispered, "You came." Tears blurred her vision. Of course, I did, idiot. His fingers brushed hers, hesitant. Can we start over? She hesitated. But then, she nodded. Because no matter what happened, it had always been him. And it always would be. Epilogue. Love, slow and steady. Healing wasn't instant. Trust wasn't immediate. But love had always been there. And this time, neither of them ran from it.